All right, welcome back everybody. Today we'll be doing the rear brakes on the Mazda 2016 Mazda. And when I did take off the hubcap to start taking the lug nuts off, I noticed that I had a lug nut missing, probably for a while, because you see all that rust on there. So the only place I take this car to get the tires rotated is the dealer, of course. I guess they must have forgot to mention that either they stripped the stud or they just forgot or lost one of my lug nuts. I don't know, but good luck taking it back and trying to claim that they did it. So this is another reason why you want to do your own brakes at home, because it's a simple fix. I'm gonna go ahead and do the brakes probably on the other side and show you guys a couple tips and tricks I found that might be helpful. All right everybody, so what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna bore you with taking off the wheel, jacking up the car and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut to having everything off. Okay. All right guys, as you can see, I took the tire off. What you want to check out, and first of all, let's just be safe. You can do this job with like basic tools. You get the jack stand from the car, you already have one. You get this basic 2-ton jack from like Harbor Freight or wherever. 14 millimeter socket, and that's pretty much it. I mean, the car comes with tools itself. You could take the tire off with the tire iron, and that's pretty much it. So 14 millimeter bolts here. That is the one that holds the caliper in place, and then back here, right here, is the other one that holds the bracket for the caliper. You're going to take those off. The disc is going to come right off. As you can see, it is pretty worn, but I have the replacement. We'll go over it as soon as I get all this stuff off. All right, what I want to show you really quick is these are a bit tough because it has the thread lock on them. So just to break them just a little bit, it's a little tough, but once you get it going and it loosens up, you could take it off with your fingers. That's the one that holds the caliper in place. All right, now that I got the bolts loose here, you can go ahead and remove this. And also, don't forget, don't put your parking brake on. Leave it off when you're doing the rear brakes, because then you're gonna have kind of a hard time getting this out. Actually, a really hard time. So I'm trying to do this with one hand, and that we will explain later. For whatever reason, Mazda made it so that thing spins out. So when you are trying to put the caliper back to where it's supposed to be, oh, there goes my bolts. Don't do that. When you go and try to compress this thing, it's a pain in the butt, but I'll show you guys how to do it without the proper tool. The tool that you do need for this actually is about 80 bucks if you want to do it, if you want to make life easy for yourself. But of course, I'm not gonna make life easy for myself. So, but I'll show you a trick how to do it. All right, set it right there. Okay. All right, so so far this is what we got. I went ahead and I zip tied the caliper out of the way because I don't want anything hanging. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the bracket, the one that holds the brake pads. As you can see, I was due for some brake pads. They look pretty messed up. And then on the back, there's a tab here. The pad with the tab actually goes back over here. And make sure this is in the right directions. It was already worn to where the indicator, this little thing rubs against, this little thing right here, rubs against the rotor, and it starts making a noise, and that's when you know you're kind of screwed and you need to change your brakes, because at that point it gets kind of dangerous. And I wore them down to the nub basically, so it was time for a brake job anyways. So don't forget to put brake cleaner on your new disc just to get all that grease and stuff that's on top of it, because that's the way they pack it so it won't rust. You have to put the brake cleaner on it on both sides. All right. One side, we'll do the other. There we go.
I know for whatever reason I could just say put the brake cleaner on it, but for whatever reason people want to see stuff being done. So I thought I'd just show you guys. Just get it around. Give it a little clean. There you go. And this stuff dries pretty quick, so there you go. All right, so you just remove the bolts from the caliper holder here. That's what I'm calling it, by the way. You take it off, and that gives you access to take off your old rotor. And that's it. I'm gonna put some of this stuff on there. A little anti-seize. Right in this area right here. Just the same way we did the front brakes, just so it won't like rust onto this piece right here. All right, so I put a nice little, generous amount of that anti-seize stuff there, and then we're just gonna put the new disc on. And whatever you do, don't get the face of the disc dirty. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. There we go. What you want to try to avoid is getting this part greasy, because then your brake pads are not going to they're not going to grip on. All right, I just wanted to talk about the caliper really quick. So there's only one way to put it back on, so you don't have to like stress out about how it goes on. But when you do put your brake pads on, the new ones, the kit comes with new clips. I didn't see a reason to take these clips off because they look like they're still in good shape. They're just dirty. If this was my classic car, I would actually take this out and wire wheel it and maybe paint it, but this is my daily driver, so it's fine. It's underneath the tire. And then on the other side, there's this little button that comes through, and that's part of the caliper will hit that. So it's very important that goes in the back. Okay, so now this, we're gonna put in the caliper holder here, and then at least that's what I'm calling it. We're gonna put it in here, and that's gonna hold the rotor in place. So that's something I'm gonna need two hands for, so I'll show you guys when I'm done. By the way, I forgot to mention that right before you put the caliper bracket or whatever it is here, I forgot to mention to put some thread lock on the bolts before you get started. All right, it's a high vibration area. You don't want this thing coming loose. All right, thought I'd mention that before we put them in. All right, I'm having boomer issues here with my phone, so hopefully this video will come out good. As you can see right here, you got more meat on these pads because I showed you the ones I had previously, and you see the piston on this caliper is kind of all the way out. So what we got to do is twist it back in place. I don't know, for whatever reason Mazda made this deal where this thing rotates outwards, so you have to rotate it back in to push it in. You can use the tool, the special tool that's like 80 bucks I think for the kit that comes with the tool, whatever. Or you can kind of primitive Pete use these you can use needle nose pliers or whatever you can get in there to like screw it back in place. So, but you have to watch out for that that rubber boot. You don't want to mess it up. It does take a little bit of force to get it back in there, but once you get it started, it gets easier and easier. You want to make sure it's flush before you put it back in. So I'll do that, and then I'll come back with the video. Okay, as you can see right here, I have compressed the caliper down all the way. I wish I could have showed you the struggle. If you want to save yourself a headache, get the $80 tool, but if you don't mind putting a little elbow grease into it, you can go ahead and do it yourself with a pair of needle nose pliers, if you do it carefully. That's pretty much it. Also, I just wanted to mention, this is very important, this little groove right here, make sure it lines up. Let me show you here. The brake pad has a little piece that comes out right here. and that's where it's supposed to line up. So just make sure that that little piece settles in here. And that's pretty much it. We just put it back on. And if this doesn't fit, you just push back in. I mean, if you want to get crazy, you can take these out, try to lube them up again, make sure they're lubed, but mines are fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and put them back in. And then after that, that's pretty much it. When we start the car back up, we'll pump the brakes a few times, make sure that caliper, you know, pops out and it sits in the right place. But we'll do that after and see how it works. Hopefully I won't crash my car. All right, guys, the moment of truth. Let us turn on the car. Ooh, I'm gonna pump the brake first. Oh, there, I pumped the brake. Let's see. Going all the way down, it's catching. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, next video will be how to replace the brake fluid, because I think they wanted to charge me like an outrageous amount. I'll go over the amount that they were going to charge me and see how much we saved. I'll also post a picture of how much I paid for the brake pads and the rotors, and how much we saved on this this repair. Okay, if you found this video helpful, give it a like. And tell your friends about it if they have a Mazda, and subscribe to my channel. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. I left a couple of stains on this floor. My wife's gonna kill me. I'll deal with that later. All right, guys, this is the grand total at O'Reilly's Auto Parts, minus the wheel studs and the lug nuts. We got the rotors for $57.79 each. The disc, the pads for $36.54 for both sides. So let's say the total came out to about 170 bucks, which is not bad. And then I'll show you how much the dealer wanted to charge me. All right, hope this helps.